Hey folks, Dan Frio here with your market close for February 13th, 2025. So you might ask, why the gig? Well, here's what happened is I live in Chicago and the day's over, I thought, and then I'm like, I'm going to go out and shovel the driveway. We got about 6 inches of snow. So I get out the snowblower and I haven't used it since last year. It's empty. So I fill up the gas, do everything, make sure the key's on because last year I forgot to put the key in and I pull for a half hour and it's like, it's not working, but it was the key. So I make sure everything. Spray some starter fluid in there because I know it's going to be a little bit tough. Pull it, it starts up, and it's humming like it's brand new. It's, I think, probably 30 years old. Cool. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just get this done with because I don't have that big of a driveway. So I go out there, click it, and the blades just lock up. So what I do? I decided to come down and visit you guys this evening. So that's why I'm here. I wasn't planning on doing a closing bell video, but I had to get this news out to you because we had a complete reversal in today's market. So without further ado, let's get over. It came basically back down to where we were yesterday morning. Okay, and I'll explain this to you here in a second, and I'll show you some grids. But what happened today? Well, here's what happened today. The S&P futures were flat. Trump delays new tariffs. Wall Street heading for a winning week. But if you drive down in here, basically what it's saying is some of the tariffs might be halted for now. And so these are one of the things that I always say, let's not look at tariffs are going to be extremely inflationary. We don't know until it really happens. So let's get through here. I think there was a caption in here that was right through here. The Dow advanced 0.77, hitting its session high after Trump signed a presidential memorandum on reciprocal tariffs, but fell short in enacting them for the time being. So I think it's a lot of threats out there. And he's just saying, guys, I have the power of the pen. You need to come to the negotiation tables. Let's make all this equal. And still, I'm working on a video because I'm from a small little town called Fallsby, West Virginia. About it. It's that Nippon Steel, the company in Japan trying to take over a steel plant here in the States. And it's basically from the hometown I grew up in. And I did a video last time I was home visiting my mom, driving through two cities, just showing you kind of what used to be just factories employing thousands and thousands of people. They're gone. And I think in the whole plant along two cities, there's a battery plant somewhere. That's it. And basically what happened is China dumped the steel on us and just decimated our economy. So tariffs or whatever, I think we just need to play an even playing field with everything. So that's my take on it. So that's that. So let's get over to here's what happened today. And here's what kind of took the reversal of the markets. So yesterday what happened is we had consumer prices come in. And right through here, the CPI, which is consumer prices, last reading was 2.9%. I'm like, if we get a 3 handle, it's going to be bad for the bond market. And it was. And I'll show you here in a second what happened yesterday. Okay, so now we advance just 24 hours later, and we have the producer price index. And last reading was 0.5. Now it came in at 0.4. So it's coming down. So now the markets are saying, okay, that's great news. And then where you right over to here. So I'm going to go to the bond market here in a second. But here's some of the financial news that we got today. And this was encouraging right through here. There was a 30-year bond auction. And you have to understand this. You can buy a mortgage bond, which I'm going to go over here in a second, and we don't know the yield, and I'll get to that in a second again. But here's the bond. If you buy a government bond right now, you're going to get a yield. Well, previously, you were getting almost a 5% yield. There is no risk, none at all. Okay, and you're getting a 5% yield. These are why mortgage rates aren't going to be at 5%. There's a cushion here, and that's the spread that we always talk about. The spread is at historical levels right now. You can see it. The yield right now is, let's say, 4.7. We go over to mortgage rates. Mortgage rates. Okay, so it's a pretty sizable spread there. Usually the spread's about 1.5 in a normal market. So you can see that's 1.5. So we got 4, 5, 6.25 is where rates should be. So about 75 basis points need to be chopped off the rates. We just need the risk premiums to start, balancing out. So that's for another day. But these are the things I watch for you. Okay, so why do I do these every day? Well, my name is Dan Frio. If you never watched me before, my slogan here is one application, one credit pool. We're going to shop your loan over 30 different lenders. And I just posted a video earlier today. Check it out. It'll be right up there. I'll put it up there so you can watch it. It's pretty cool how I show you behind the scenes on how we do this. So in the past, you were always told, okay, go out there and get 3, 4, 5 quotes. Okay, that was what was needed because you would call this bank and then that bank and then that bank. So in today's world, basically, you can call me. I work at a federal bank. Okay, the cool thing is I'm set up with 30 other lenders. These are mortgage companies and credit unions that I can offer you their programs and their rates. Okay, so you could just go right through me and I'll facilitate the whole transaction. So if you're savvy enough to go out there and get 30 quotes on your own, God bless you, go out and do that. But if you really need our support and help doing this, I'd love to help you, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. So I'll give you all my information at the end of this video. But without further ado, here's what we were looking at today. The producer price index, like I said, it was actually revised. So when the number came out this morning, I'm like, oh, that's bad. It's double again, like we saw in the CPI. And then it was revised. So this is a revised number as well as you can see up through here. So the employment numbers were 1.85 today, the continued claims. And then when you looked at it previously, it's like, okay, but then the previous, so you can see the revisions can be, really big. And you can see that right through here with the core inflation. They went from 0 to a plus 4. So when the numbers came in today, it was positive signs. So that's what we saw throughout. So here's what happened today. Okay, so this is today's bond market. So before you get all, okay, you're like, Dan, okay, rates just plummeted today. Well, not necessarily. Let's get to it. Let's go to a 2-day chart. Okay, look at this chart. Basically, here's where we were yesterday, and this is how dramatic things change in just 24 hours. This is where we were yesterday when the CPI got issued. And again, what you have to understand is as the number, the price of this bond goes down, because what we're looking at right now is a mortgage-backed security bond. Okay, what we were looking at earlier, the yield on the government bond, which we were seeing right through. They sold government bonds at a 4.74 yield. Last time they sold bonds was at 4.9. Okay, so now here's what we follow through here. We follow this bond market. It doesn't give us a yield, so we have to figure out what's happening with it. So what we have to focus in on is what's the price doing. So if the price is going down, yields or interest rates are going up. This was a huge move yesterday. So I was quoting people yesterday, right through here, and then all of a sudden, it was 10 minutes later, and now the rates went up 0.25%, and it's like, oh boy, now what I do? So we just held steady. I'm like, let's see how the PPI comes out. One of these numbers is I think going to be a good number for us. So we kind of just held out there, and then here's what happened today. The PPI number came in, and let's go to today's numbers. We got it all back. Okay, so these are why people choose to use me. If you worked with somebody yesterday and they're like, okay, well, you're good to go, we'll get you through, stamp it, your rates locked in, you might have missed 1/8% in rates. If you're just concerned about rates, please, go out there and do your best out there. But if you need my assistance, I'm looking for, we usually work with about 10 clients a month. If you want to be one of those, please, I'll give you all my information down below. I'd love to help you. Okay, so let's get over to the last thing I want to talk about. And today's video was kind of short. I was hoping because I just got in from trying to shovel my walkway. Before you go out there and buy or even try to get qualified for a house or maybe even a car, you ever apply for something and then all of a sudden you start getting phone calls, just phone call after phone call after phone call. And then you're like, okay, I'll get myself on the do not call list. Okay, so there's a new thing out now. It's called opt-out pre-screener right through here. So before you do anything, even if you're not looking for a mortgage or you're not looking for a car, please do this. Because here's what happens is you come to us for a mortgage, okay? We pull your credit. The credit agencies now sell your financial data, okay? It's not me. I don't want them to sell your data because I don't want them to sell my data. So that's why I've subscribed to this. So they're selling that data. So now you're just going to get calls. You're going to get inundated with calls. And okay, so to avoid that, if you want them, God bless you, don't do this. If you don't want them, if you don't want this credit agency selling your data, go to optoutprescreener.com. You're just going to scroll down, click the button. I would choose to permanently delete my records because I never want anybody, selling my financial data, but that's up to you. You have a couple options to choose from. So who am I? How do you get a hold of me? Well, right now, you can go to therateupdate.com, okay? And I'm going to say why right now is we're changing a lot of these things, and also our 800 number down below. I've been working with a company for 5 days now to get it switched over to a new system, and it's crazy. So I'll give you all my information. Check down below in the description. I'll give you my personal email as well. If you need any assistance, reach out to me. I'd love to help. But visit us at therateupdate.com. You can do a couple different things. Right up through there, you can put in your application. Just hit the Apply Now button. Your application will come directly to me. Yes, yours truly. If you want to schedule a consultation call to talk to me or Alan, you can do that right up through there. Or if you want to just skip the front of the line, well, you can't do this right now, but usually you can call our 800 number. It is down right now, but shoot me an email if you need anything. at dan@therateupdate.com. This number should be active. They keep telling me within 24 hours, but that was on Monday. So be patient with us, guys. If you really need something, send me an email. Don't leave any description. Comment on those. Every once in a while I'll jump in there, but I might miss something. So shoot me an email if you need some help. Other than that, God bless you. If you haven't seen snow in your life, God bless you, because it gets old after a while. So thanks so much for watching, folks. Can't wait to see you back here tomorrow morning. Take care. Bye-bye.